Back with the video from yesterday,
And then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
football game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I gotta go real quick.
Here's Tannehill. Incomplete. Kenny Stills the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now it's Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there,
Alright guys, I'm
get
back.
that space,
I'm gonna walk
catch
in.
the football, and then make
Houston
a move and pick
versus
up extra
Miami.
yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
On 1st down, it's goal. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. Stays on his feet. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Christian Covington in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He sort of just keeps chipping away at this defense. Hasn't had a spectacular game, but here in the third quarter, that they've known all game long that he's there.
He's the type of guy that frustrates you if you're playing defense, because when you think you've taken away something or you think you've got him in check, he comes up with another catch, the chains move, or he finds a way to get it to the end zone. He's that guy that drives you crazy, and offenses love him.
He's hoping to drive him more crazy here coming up. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
So they don't run it. You said they should be very hesitant to throw it. They completed it, but not enough to pick up the first.
But any space you gain there is good space for your punter. So, yes.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. That is incomplete. He was looking that time for Stills, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Now Tannehill on third and goal. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. Fourth and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And now out comes Houston. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On second down, here's Watson. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now. Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Here's Watson. Finds a seam inside the 40. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one down to the 24. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love him as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your phone.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick missed. No good, way wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Tannehill on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And taken right at the 35. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first down throw, Watson. And a little floater there is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Watson looks to throw again, letting one go deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I know we don't like to admit it. We like to appear to be on top of every situation, but there's no way we expected that. They have the lead, and they pull the fake.
Well, I hit you on your leg under the table because I couldn't believe they were doing that. You're right, lead fourth quarter, but I guess they wanted a bigger cushion.
I guess so, but I guess maybe that is the beauty of it because there's no way they could have expected on the other side of the ball as well. They have the lead. They expect them to go ahead and kick it.
One man in the backfield. That's Miller, second and goal. Now it's Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. To throw is Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the three, fake it. It doesn't work. The Dolphins getting set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession.
Yo, guys, this game's rigging me. His foot was in.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zach Cunningham in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's back to throw. He goes underneath the Drake. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Desperation time for Tannehill on fourth down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
A first down carry now for Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Again, it's Miller. Quick move by Miller. Miller with a first down and more. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, 25 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a one-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he is going to come up empty here as they stop him short of the goal line. And this will remain a one-score game as the lead holds at 7.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Whitney Mercilus in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And the spike comes here, and that stops the clock at 25 seconds. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. And now he stops it with a spike at 8 seconds. And it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain. Now Tannehill. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One last throw here for Tannehill. Now a desperation. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys.
Years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Christian Covington able to drop him for a loss of 4. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Here's Tannehill. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bernardrick McKinney in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Texans is Tyler Ervin. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Going up top for Miller. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 2nd and 10, Watson escaping the pressure right. Floating one, incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And that's incomplete.
And that's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to his left and trying to get the ball to a receiver. We've seen all those drills where they're trying to get the shoulders square and point it.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both
I didn't
ways.
even lose
Guard
it.
for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker
you
because it
block.
was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing.
Down.
Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Counter play, Drake, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now it's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Back to throw, Watson. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. That was close to a big play, just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They got to find a way to get back in sync.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Going deep this time for Miller. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Watson now to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston, with the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about it, Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game, But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start. Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead, and oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward is just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action. It's Tannehill. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter down here in the Super Bowl. It's a close game here early on. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, it's Gore. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Watson on 1st down. That complete to Lamar Miller. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Yo, what?
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
So now here come the Dolphins. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Off play action, Tannehill. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to drop it for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Watson. Going for the deep ball. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up.
I'm crashing out.
By Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. After the interception, here's Tannehill. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to 25. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. first down throw, Tannehill. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On second down, here's Tannehill. He dumps it off to Drake. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Toward the pylon, caught. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Dolphins on 3rd down, not good, 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. The kick by Sanders is good. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there, and he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Well, if you're going to give him that kind of time, he's just going to shred you.
You might as well put a sofa out there for him. I mean, that's unbelievable because I don't care who you are in coverage. With that amount of time, someone's going to shake free, and he's going to be able to throw the ball with a whole lot of confidence.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Watson on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try.
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
I'm kidding this, bro. How did he miss the ball?
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the
I'm gonna
stop
intercept
defensively,
it. Watch
and now a chance
this.
to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half?
Lol.
Because
Tell me.
that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Hopkins, strong running. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 73 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2. Here's Watson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Fairbairn now to kick this one away.
I think my game broke. Bye.